Hello, I'm CraftyAndy in my Fursonas, if that's what you want to call them. There are a couple of freeloaders. Michael Ringtail, the human observer.
When it comes to the ape species known as humans, on Earth you have a ticket to the freak show. In the United States of America, you have a front row seat. Take this human for example. This is a 43-year-old male that I was studying. Here he is, smashing a bunch of beer cans at one of the local Walmart temples these humans frequent at.
And Squigs the Weasel, he plays video games and is quite horny sometimes.
Oh, that was fixed rather quickly. I mean, nice deep throat. Ooh, an E-stem plate too. Yeah, it's smash. Geodude, you get a hammer, you can smash it. Graveler, sledgehammer. So you could definitely smash it. Onyx, now that's what you need, the jackhammer. Get the jackhammer out, you can definitely smash it.
You might hear over 9,000 different definitions of what furry is, or should be. Essentially, all it is just people who are fans of animal aesthetics and anthropomorphic characters. And just to clarify it, despite what many others might think or say, it's not some family where you join and can never leave. It's not some exclusive club. It's not something where you have to participate in a bunch of rituals and have a set number of rules to follow. Just as much as anyone could be a Star Wars fan and not have to cosplay as Jar Jar Binks.
No, Jar Jar, please don't!
Mr. Tongue do crazy things!
See now?
Mr.
No,
Tongue go boom, boom, boom in your butthole, TJ!
Anyone could be a furry fan who merely likes movies such as The Lion King or Watership Down, or reads books such as Elephant Man or Mouse Guard. Since anyone can be involved, you can't really generalize it and box it into one type of person or personality. I've been involved publicly since 2009, so that brings me over 12 years now, which means I could put this poster up at least one more time before it's expired. I've never considered leaving. I don't understand even the concept of leaving. All it would just be me not doing anything and playing video games in a hole for the rest of my life at this point. It's part of my aesthetic. It's part of the characters and stories that I'm writing right now when it comes to making online entertainment, from my videos I make on my YouTube channel to the kids book I'm making and graphic novel later on. I'm an artist and video maker. You can find a lot of my work under the name CraftyAndy. My YouTube channels are under the names Crafty Arts and Weirdzors for my strictly furry content. I contribute a lot of convention highlights.
Just keep doing that, like slow nose.
Yeah, he's got cookies. You got some of those cookies for me, right?
Music videos. Commentary. And sketches.
If you're dumb enough to buy a fursuit this winter, then you're a big enough schmuck to come to Crafty's Fursuits. We're the only fursuit makers that tell you to fuck off!
One of the best media memories that come to mind right away off the bat is a video I made called Coming Out to My Dad as a Furry. Obviously it was a parody skit, but I managed to get that played at one of the conventions live, so I got to see an audience react to it, which was pretty nerve-wracking, because even with small videos, you have no idea if what you make is any good or not by the time you're done. But seeing people react and laugh to it, that was great. That was a fantastic memory that I'll cherish with me for the rest of my days. Hey, Dad.
Oh, hi, son. What's going on?
It's already all over the place when it comes to being mainstream. I mean, even before people became dedicated fans about it, it's all over the place. It can be found in all types of different movies and media. Even today, just because there are writers and artists out there not saying that they're furry doesn't mean that they're already not making it. Like I mentioned earlier, books like Mouse Guard, movies like Zootopia, Beastars, bands like Powerwolf. It's just a matter of quality at this point, whatever you're finding. And that's one of the parallels that furry has with Christian media. For example, it doesn't matter how shitty a Christian movie is, people are still going to watch and defend it because it's Christian. The same goes for a lot of furry media and entertainment, and I'm not excluding myself from that either. The main issue is that there's a lot of repression and hang-ups when it comes to sexuality, especially here in the States. And a lot of furry content explores that in the form of written media and comic books. That goes beyond just pure smut. But because it has elements in there that could be labeled as smut, it's just the entire thing is just disqualified. Books like cruelty. Of course, the more aware corpos and normies become of furry, and the large range of media there is to enjoy, the more of a push there is to sanitize it, to make it more family friendly. I mean, sellable to the masses. But we don't have time to get into all of that.
Very good idea.
My favorite guest will always be Tracy Butler, because her being guest of honor at Furry Connection North in 2009 is what helped me work up the nerve to come out of my hole to go to a furry convention, let alone interact with other furries online and in person, and to help get over my last remaining insecurities as an adult. So her being that spark that did it, me finding out that there was more to furry than just sex parties and smut. Though again, I want to clarify that the fear I had and resistance I had to it comes from the stigma that surrounds it undeservingly, not because of any fault of those people, such as myself, really. In order to spare you many hours of looking at my pretty face, I'll summarize it as best I can. For many years, I was the subject of bullying and isolation from early grade school to senior year of high school, pretty much. I could barely order a McDonald's menu without being awkward about it, despite making the right kind of friends who pushed me to be more social and creative over the years. I would say this doesn't just apply to being a furry, but also anyone who feels weird and out of place or a freak in some way. If I didn't get over my personal insecurities and just accept myself for what I am and realize that it has nothing to do with my personality or what kind of person I actually am in terms of integrity and ethics, if I didn't overcome the lie of religion, and every religion on earth is a lie, by the way, if I didn't go out of my comfort zone and take risks, make compromises in terms of making friendships and then relationships, I wouldn't be where I am today. So going to a furry convention out of the blue without knowing anyone,
I never thought I was going to have so much goddamn fun.
to going on forums and finding local meetups, making up for my lost teenage years, finally moving out of my parents' house, getting married to my first husband of 12 years, and then later my second husband, who's been with us for 7 years. We are a trio. Eventually, this all led up to me actually getting a job I enjoy, though if I could do art and video as a job, I would take that in a heartbeat. Give me money. It's been a turbulent 7 years and a rather relaxing 4 years, I'd say, at this point. A lot of heartbreak, pain, stress, luck, risk, privilege was involved in all of this. All of it leading up to where we are now. I'd say if this is a peak, it's a pretty good peak. And it all stems back to, once again, leaving my comfort zone, getting over my insecurities, and just being first accepting of who I am, and then moving on from there. That covers everything. I'll leave you all with that. If you want to find more of me, there's Crafty Arts on YouTube and the Weirdzors channel.
You kidding me? Who said that you're allowed to be this freaking cute?